जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा. So today the class will be in English. It is a continuation of a class that we had last Sunday. We will be discussing from Bilva Mangal Thakur, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti Stuti. So what I remember, last Sunday we completed up to verse number 19. So last Sunday we discussed that how Bilva Mangal Thakur, whatever leelas of Krishna that he is explaining, it's not that he's writing something because he's poetic or he's very creative or it's his imagination. He's actually seeing Krishna. He's actually seeing the leelas of Krishna. So all these beautiful leelas, sometimes he goes off to Bhagavatam, sometimes he goes off to Ramayan, sometimes he is explaining Gajendra Leela, sometimes he is explaining Vrindavan Leela, sometimes he is explaining Dwarka Leela. So the whole effect is so beautiful, where he explains how the devotees of Krishna are always remembering Krishna and chanting Krishna's name. So how do they remember Krishna and what are the names of Krishna they chant? Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. They are chanting Govinda Damodhar Madhav. So today what we are going to do is, one by one, we will also recite the verse which comes on the screen, and then I'll give you a short explanation of what is the Leela Bilva Mangal Thakur is explaining in that verse. So we'll start with verse number 19. 19 we completed last Sunday. We'll start with verse number 20. Is it on the screen? Verse number 20. Krida param bhojanamajanartham hitashini stri tanujam yashoda ajuhavat prema pari plutakshi Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. This Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti, everybody can chant, right? Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. So what happened? Last Sunday we discussed how the gopis in Vraja, they are feeding pomegranate to the parrots and asking them to chant Govinda, Damodhara, Madhava, chant Govinda's name, chant Damodar's name. And then at some places he is seeing that Mother Yashoda is waking up Krishna. At some places he is seeing that some of the gopis, they are talking to themselves, oh, I am determined that today I will not remember Krishna. I will not remember his beautiful face. I will not remember his melodious flute. But she ends up remembering Krishna all the more. So we were discussing different leelas. Now what happened today? Today what Krishna has done, he hasn't taken bath, he hasn't eaten his food, but he went off to play. So Mother Yashoda, she is calling Krishna, you have gone to playing, what about your food, what about your bath? So she is calling out Krishna. Yashoda Mata is calling out of affection for the welfare of her son. She is saying, Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. Govinda Damodhara Madhave. Oh, Govinda Damodhara Madhava, come back. We see in Krishna Leela, Krishna is so happy playing. He's not bothered about eating. He's not bothered about anything. He just wants to play, right? We see how Krishna even ate mud. He even ate mud, and then Balramji had to, fetch Mother Yashoda. Look what he's doing. So Krishna is very naughty and he enjoys playing. And that is Krishna's nature. We see that there is one very special pastime with Raghu Rakshit. There was this one devotee in Jagannath Puri. He was very attached to Lord Jagannath. So once Lord Krishna, Lord Jagannath comes to him and says, Raghu, you are my friend. So if you are my friend, then we should do some activities together. So yeah, what we can do together? He said, let's go and steal jackfruit. So Raghu asked, why should we steal? So Krishna says, I'm just reminded of my Vrindavan pastimes, because there nobody offers me like this 56 varieties. I steal things. And if I don't steal, I won't enjoy eating it. So I want to steal. If you are ready to steal with me, then I will enjoy. He said, fine, then let's go. So they go to the king's garden, and finally Krishna asked him that, okay, you do one thing, you just throw the jackfruit on me and I will catch it, and then we will run away. So he just climbs on a tree, and from there he just throws the jackfruit, and instead of catching, Krishna runs away. And now the jackfruit is very big in size, so when it's thrown down, it makes a thud noise, and immediately the soldiers come there and they're asking, who is this, who is this? And they find Raghu sitting on the branch of the tree, and they're wondering, he looks like a gentleman in the daytime, does he do like this stealing in the night time? So then, when they bring him down, he says, believe me, Krishna did this, I have not done this. So that's Krishna's nature. He enjoys playing, stealing, moving around, having fun, but he doesn't want to, eat when Mother Yashoda is ready to feed him. He wants to steal something and eat. So here Yashoda Mata is calling, Govinda, Damodar, Madhava, today you haven't taken bath, you haven't eaten. What are you doing? Come back. We'll go to the next verse. I hope they can get it. Yeah, the next verse. Sukham shayanam nilaye cha vishnum devarshi mukhya munaya prapanna tenachyutetan mayatam vrajanti govinda damodhar madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So just now Bilva Mangal spoke about how Krishna has not even taken bath and he goes off for playing. So somebody may think, he is God. And is he really God? He drinks the buttermilk from his friend's mouth. He doesn't take bath. He eats mud. He steals from people's house. So is he really God? So now Bilamangal Thakur immediately in the verse number 21 says, Devarshi Narada. Okay, don't think that, even Narada Muni, even different Munis, all of them are also surrendering to Krishna. So don't think he's an ordinary person. So it's not that because Vrindavan villagers, they love Krishna. Krishna is God. So he's just clarifying here. Even this Devarshi Narada and all the other Munis who are surrendered, they also do only one thing. What do? Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. They keep chanting his name, right? So sometimes people misunderstand, he steals butter, he has Rasa Leela, he speaks lie, is he God? But yes, he is God. All the Devatas also, there is this very famous verse in Suprabhatam also, where it is clear that even the Devatas, they are hankering for Krishna's darshan. What is that famous verse? Anybody knows that famous verse? Where it says that how the Brahma, Sanak Sanatan, all the rishis, munis, even Indra, Agni, they all take bath early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta. And after taking bath, they don't even wipe themselves, that same cloth they go and they stand in front of the doors of Vaikuntham, the doors of Krishna's, Lord Vishnu's palace, and then they are waiting eagerly. And finally, when the door opens, they have only they have only 1 minute or either, very quickly they have to have darshan. And then immediately they are asked to move. And in case if they don't move, then it is said that Jai and Vijay who are standing at the gate, they have a big, stick in their hand. And they'll get very upset with them and they will beat them on their head and ask them to move, come on, many other people. In fact, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it says that sometimes when the Agni Devata is chanting the prayers loudly, then the guards will go and tell them that, can you please chant your prayers a little bit, slowly. There are other people also who are chanting. And sometimes when Indra comes, with all that get up, that yes, I have to go and see Vishnu, they will say, sorry, you don't have appointment today. You are scheduled to come tomorrow. Please come tomorrow. Don't disturb. So like all these devatas which people worship to have different kind of boons, all of them are eagerly waiting to have just one glance of Krishna. There is this very famous verse in Suprabhatam. It says, Shri Swami Pushkari Nikaplava Nirmalanga Sreyarthino Hari Virinchi Sanandanaya Dvare Vasanta Varavetra Hatotamanga Shri Venkatachalapate Tava Suprabhatam. Sri Venkatachalapate Tava Suprabhatam. So they're saying that this Vasanta Vetra, this is a very big stick. Hatota Manga. Get bet on their head if they will be waiting one more minute. Yes, quick, let the others have darshan. So like that, it's not that when we hear all these stealing pastimes of the Lord, we should not misunderstand. And He is the most wanted Lord, and everybody wants hanker for His darshan. So we have just remembered Venkataramana, Shankataharana, Govinda. We'll go to the next verse. Vihaya nidram arunodaya cha vidhaya kritya nicha vipramukhya vedavasane prapatanti nityam govinda damodhara madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So even the Brahmanas, what do the Brahmanas do? When they get up, they early in the morning, when they get up in Brahma Muhurta, they take their bath, they complete their ritualistic duties, whatever they're supposed to do, yagam, whatever they do. But at the end of it, they chant the names of Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Why? Unless and until you chant the Lord's name, nothing is complete. Why? Because everything that we do in this world has fault. For example, the occupational duty of a Kshatriya is to protect. For protection, they have to sometimes wage a war, they have to sometimes kill people, right, mercilessly. So that's a fault, but they can't help it because they are Kshatriyas, they have to participate in the war, they have to do killing. So yes, there are some fault in their part. If you talk about Brahmanas, even Brahmanas have fault. What is their fault? When the Brahmanas, they recite the Vedic mantras, not always they can do it flawlessly. There will be some mistake in their Parayan. Like we chant Hare Krishna, somebody will say Hare Krishna, somebody will say Hare Krishna. Right? Different people, they chant, their pronunciation, accent may be different. So yes, there will be some fault. Like the Vaishyas. What is the fault in the Vaishyas? The Vaishyas means they have to do business. Business means they will speak lie. If you go to any businessman, he will say, just for you, I am not making profit. Just for you, because I know you. Otherwise, this is not the rate, right? But actually, he is telling lie. For every customer, he will say, just for you, I am not making profit. If he doesn't make profit for anybody, he has to close his shop. So Kshatriya has a fault, Brahmana has a fault, Vaishya has a fault, even Shudra has a fault. Why? Because Shudras, when they serve their master, they cannot serve flawlessly. Whenever we are serving, some mistake will happen, right? So here it says that no matter what happens, if somebody chants the name of the Lord, then whatever mistakes are there. In fact, there is this verse in Bali Maharaj's pastime, where after Vamandev takes away everything from Bali Maharaj, then Vamandev is telling Bali Maharaj's guru, Arey, you were doing that yagnam, na? I think you have to complete that yagnam, otherwise how can you leave the yagnam halfway? Then he is smiling and telling, my lord, if somebody chants your name, then everything is completed. Everything, even whatever is half done, if your name is chanted, it is completed. Even if it's imperfectly done. But in case, if somebody does everything perfectly, but they forget to chant your name, then it is useless. So, though he is a guru for the demon, so nicely he explains. So, there is this beautiful verse. He says, Sarvam karoti nischidram anusankirtana tava. When your sankirtan happens, then everything becomes faultless. Because sometimes even if somebody is doing some spiritual activity or some ritualistic yajnam or something, there may be a fault in time, place, there may be a fault in following the proper principles. But if they chant Krishna's name, then everything becomes faultless. So what should one do at the beginning of everything? And what should one do at the end of every activity? Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhave. If you chant these names of Krishna, whatever activity you do, it is complete. We'll go to the next verse. Vrindavane gopaganascha gopyo vilokya govinda viyoga khinnam radham jagusha shruvilo chanabhyam गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति. So here Bilvamangal Thakur is taking us to a very special place. What is that special place? Prem Sarovar. So if you have been to Vrindavan and if you have not been to this very special place, you are missing something. This place is very, very special because here a special pastime took place. Once it so happened that Radha and Krishna were having some pastimes, and while having pastimes, Radharani was sitting in Krishna's lap, and all the cowherd boys and all the cowherd girlfriends of Radharani, they were surrounding them. They were all having good time. So suddenly what happened? There's a bumblebee, a honeybee comes and disturbs Radharani. So now the Gopa Balakas, they're trying to drive away the honeybee. So honeybee is called in Hindi or Sanskrit Madhu. So they're trying to drive away the Madhu. So this Madhu Mangal, when he was trying to drive away the honeybee, after he was successful, he comes running and tells, oh, Madhu is gone, I've driven Madhu away. So now Radharani, who was in Krishna's lap, Krishna's other name is also Madhu. So she thinks, oh, Krishna is gone? Krishna left me? Whereas she's sitting in Krishna's lap and she says, Krishna is gone. So she starts crying, oh, Krishna left me. And now Krishna, on whose lap Radharani is sitting, he starts crying that she loves me so much. I'm here right in front of her and still she cries for me. So Krishna starts crying. So Radharani is crying and Krishna is crying and Radharani is crying, and seeing them all the cowherd boys are crying and all the cowherd girlfriends are crying that what should we do? This Radha Krishna's love we are not unable to understand. So now what happens when Radharani is crying and when Krishna is crying, with their tears a pond is formed there. So till today also you can go and see that. So if you ask the rickshawala, take us to Prem Sarovar, they'll take you. And there you can see the water, which is the tears from Radharani and Krishna's lotus eyes. So we can take it on our head. So here this pastime is being spoken about, that when Radharani became unconscious, crying for Krishna, and when Krishna became unconscious, crying out for Radharani, at that time what the cowherd boys and the cowherd girlfriends did, they had to take out some solution. So what they started doing is they started chanting, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So when they started chanting different names of Krishna, Govinda, Damodhara, Madhava, then immediately Radharani opened eyes and Krishna opened eyes and everything became normal. So he's taking us to that sweet pastime which happened in Prem Sarovar. Now I'll go to the next pastime. प्रभात संचरग गतनुगवस्त रक्षाननार्थं तनयं यशोदा प्रबोधयत् पानितले नमण्डं गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति. So what happened? This day, this morning, the cows have already gone for grazing. Usually, Krishna gets up in the morning and along with his cowherd boys, he will take the cows for grazing. But today, Krishna is still sleeping and the cows have gone for grazing. So now Mother Yashoda is coming and waking up Krishna and says, you are still sleeping? Look, my boy, the cows have also gone for grazing. Don't you want to get up? So when the mother is patting Krishna, he's turning the other side. Sometimes the children do that. Those of you here are parents, you have that experience. If they don't want to get up, you tap them on this side, they'll turn like this. You tap them on this side, they'll turn like this. This is what Krishna is doing. So Yashoda Mata is calling out to Krishna, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Oh, get up Govinda, get up Damodar. It's time to go. Even the cows have left for grazing. We'll go to the next verse. Pravala Shobha Iva Dirghakesha Vatambu Parna Shanaputa Deha Mule Tarunam Munaya Pathanti गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति. So now what is happening? Yashoda Mata is calling out Krishna, the gopis are calling out Krishna, and there is somebody else also who is calling out Krishna. Who is that? You can ask them not to put the bell. Exactly for another half an hour. Later on they can put the bell. So there is somebody else also who is calling out Krishna's name. Who are they? So you can guess. Somebody with long matted hair. The hair are of the color of coral, and their bodies have become purified because they are not eating any rajasic, tamasic food. They are simply surviving on dry leaves, and sometimes they are surviving only on air. So who are those purified people? They are the sages. So they are having weak and frail body. So sometimes why this verse has been put here? Like we don't do upavasam or we don't do fasting every day. We just do maybe once in a year Nirjala Ekadashi, and once in 15 days we do Ekadashi, but we may be taking some fruits or some Ekadashi prasadam. In fact, nowadays we take Ekadashi feast. So if we do one time Nirjala Ekadashi also, we are like, I can't do service, I can't chant, I can't do, because I'm doing Nirjala, I haven't drank water. And I mean, this is all the more for us to prepare tomorrow's consciousness. Tomorrow is going to be fasting for all of us. So when we fast, we are not able to chant Krishna's name enthusiastically because we are fasting. The body has no strength. And more than the body, our mind has no strength. In fact, some time back, I came in touch with some naturopathy doctor. He's a pretty famous guy in South India. And then we were having some discussion. So he said, when you fast, you feel more energetic. And I took it with a pinch of salt. Like, how can that be? So he said, Mataji, I challenge you, you can try. So I did it. I did it for almost, I think, 7 days continuously. 7 days, nothing eating, nothing to eat, only water every 1 hour, and maybe sometime honey water. And I tell you, dear devotees, you will not believe, those 7 days are the best days of my life. I never ever felt so energetic. I felt so energetic. I felt, can I do something else? Can I do something else? So much energy was coming. So yeah, I mean, whatever, that is a different thing here. So what we do is, whenever we are doing Ekadashi or Upavasam, we are like, I can't chant, I can't serve, I can't walk because I'm fasting. But here, these sages, they haven't eaten for ages. They're just sometimes living on air. But still, they don't give any excuses. What they are doing, they're chanting continuously. What they are chanting? Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. So anyway, why I was telling you is that there is of course a science behind it. When you fast, what happens and why you feel energetic. It's a topic which I can take on some other day, and it's pretty interesting how you will know that when we fast, actually there's something happening inside our body and why we get energy. But it's not that we can do it for the rest of our lives. I mean, it can be done for certain intervals in a month, and you will feel very energetic doing it. Because I didn't want to complete it halfway, otherwise people will say, but what is that? Shall we stop eating altogether and we'll be energetic? No, it has to be done in a right way, right intervals. Go to the next verse. Evam bruvana viraha turabrisham vraja striya krishna vishiktamanasa vishrejalacham rurudusmasuswaram Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti Govinda Damodhar Madhaveti. This is one of the favorite stutis. I mean, there are many stutis in Bhagavatam that I'm personally very fond of. One of them is Kunti Stuti and Bhishma Stuti, but this Stuti also, and probably because Damodar's name comes there, so maybe that's why I'm pretty attached to this Govinda Damodar Stuti, that reminds us of our Damodar. So anyway, so after now, Bilvamangal Thakur is taking us somewhere else. From the forest where the sages are doing tapasya, austerities to get Krishna, now Bilvamangal Thakur brings us to this very, very sad episode that is happening in the lives of Vrindavan Vasis. What is happening? Akrura has come there. And Akrura is taking Krishna away. So this scene is happening. And now these ladies of Vraja, they are crying. They were so attached to Krishna and now they are completely agitated because now Krishna is going away. So what happened? Some of the gopis, they were elderly gopis, like Yashoda Mata's age. They were loving Krishna in Vatsalya Bhava. So they could openly go and express their love to Krishna. So for them, it's no issue. Then some of the gopis, they were related. They used to come regularly. Some of the gopis, they were serving in Krishna's house. But then there were some gopis who were unmarried. And they loved Krishna in Madhurya Bhava. And now they can't openly express their love for Krishna. So the other gopis can come and cry, hey Krishna, why are you going away? Don't go. But they can't. They are like, they have to be lajja, right? They have to show some shyness. They can't go and tell Krishna. But now, when Akrura is actually taking Krishna, they have given up all shyness without any worldly shame. Let anybody think whatever they think about us. They are openly professing their love to Krishna and they are saying, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. They're not bothered. Let the whole world think whatever they want to think, right? That's a very beautiful bhajan in my childhood. I used to sing it sometime. बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे. Because all the time we are worried what he will say, what she will say, what he will say. But as a devotees we have to think, what do I have to say? What do I have to worry? What he has to say about me, what she has to say about me. What I am worried is what he has to say about me, because he is the most important person in my life. So what do I have to do with this worldly people? So now these gopis, they have lost all the shame. Let people think whatever. They are unmarried. But yes, we love Krishna. Yes, we are crying for Krishna. Let the whole world think whatever they want to think. And they are crying out Krishna's name loudly. So now we'll go to the next verse. What is happening with another gopi? Gopi kadachin mani pinjarastam sukam vacho vachayutam pravrita ananda kanda vrajachandra krishna govinda damodhara madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So now what happened? One particular gopi, she's teaching her parrot. So not only she's teaching the parrot to say Govinda, Damodhara, Madhava, she's teaching different names of Krishna. So she's telling the parrot, come on, say Ananda Kanda. Krishna is Ananda Kanda. Oh, say Vrajachandra. Oh, Krishna is moon of Vraja. Hey parrot, say this, say that. So all the different names of Krishna. She's explaining the meaning, she's reciting those verses and she's reciting those names and she's asking the parrot, come on, you also recite the names of Krishna. So now what happened? Just now he had taken us to the sad scene where Akrura is taking Krishna away to Mathura and then these gopis are crying and this one gopi is remembering Krishna. So now what Bilva Mangal Thakur will do is, he will take us to one humorous pastime and make us laugh again. Maybe we are in sad mood thinking Krishna left Vrindavan. So now the coming verse will be a humorous one. गोवत्सबालै शिशुकाकपक्षं बध्नातमम्बोजदलायतक्षम् उवाच माता चिबुकं गृहीत्वा गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर madhaveti. So what did the naughty Krishna do today? What naughty Krishna did? He took Madhumangal's shikha. Madhumangal was a Brahman and he had a long shikha. So what Krishna did is, without Madhumangal's notice, he took Madhumangal's shikha and he tied to a tail of a cow. Madhumangal doesn't know about it. And when the cow started moving, now Madhumangal is being dragged by his shikha. So seeing that, all of the cowherd boys, they are laughing and they are making fun of Madhumangal. So now all of them understood who did it. And somehow, see, when sometimes the boys play, right? if the elders are not around, they will play on a different level, right? Just like in the school also. If the teacher is around, you may make noise, but you will be very careful. If the teacher is not there, even your tone of talking, language, everything will be different, correct? It's in our temple also, right? When I am around, there will be a different lingo, right? I am aware of it. When I am not around, it will be on a different level. Even calling out to each other will be on a different level with some pet names. So, but then sometimes suddenly if the teacher comes, everybody will be very serious and they'll be asked, when did she come? I didn't see. This happens. So now what happened? Krishna is having fun with his friends. Suddenly Mother Yashoda came and she saw what Krishna did. That he is the one who tied the shika to the tail of the cow. So now what Mother is doing is, Krishna, as soon as he saw the mother, he's just keeping his head down. So Mother is asking, Krishna, did you do that? Govinda, did you do that? Come on. Damodar, did you do that? I'm asking you. Look at me. So he's not looking. So now you see, his chin is down. So Mother is putting his chin up. Come on, look at me. Did you do that? Did you do that? I'm asking you, did you do that? So now all are laughing around what has happened, but Mother Yashoda has caught him. So she's asking, Govinda, Damodar, Madhav, did you do that? Did you do that? Come on, put your chin up. I'm talking to you. So here all these Gopa Balakas, they are laughing. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Go to the next verse. Prabhata Kale Varavallavoga Gorakshanartham Dritavetra Dandaha Akarayam Asu Uranantamedyam Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. What happened today? Krishna didn't get up from sleep. He's sleeping. So usually what happens, Krishna will get up, take bath, then go to the Ter Kadamba. There on the branch of the Kadamba tree, Krishna will sit there. Then he will play his flute. As soon as he plays his flute, all the cowherd boys will come there. Then he will call sometimes the gopis. Then he have something to eat. And then by playing his flute, he'll call all the cows. And from there they will go. So Ter Kadamba itself means Ter, means calling. So he used to do that. But today Krishna has not got up. He's still sleeping. So now all the boys are waiting. What happened? He has not come today. So now what they did, these cowherd boys, every day they carry some stick with them. And on the either side of the stick, they have a bundle of cloth. In that bundle, they have put their breakfast or lunch or whatever they have packed it. Just like our children, they have Milton and Cello packs. Na? So they have packed in some cloth. And the cloth will be hanging on the either side on the stick. So now they have all the stick on the shoulder. And the Krishna has not come today. So they all came to Krishna's room. Now what they are saying, Krishna is sleeping. So now they are calling out. They're calling out Krishna, hey, lazy baby, you get up, what, you are a sleepy head, get up. So now, see what the boys do, they talk a little bit roughly, how the boys are, they're friends. So they're calling him, what is this? You are still sleeping, get up, you lazy boy, get up, you are a lazy body, get up. So this is what is happening. So actually, some great people forget about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even in our history, when they used to wake up the kings in the morning, they had a system that the certain poets of the palace, they will go in front of the king when he's sleeping in his bedroom, and or sometimes outside the bedroom, they will stand and they will start reciting beautifully composed poems which they have composed themselves. Oh, our king is so great. He has conquered so many kingdoms. He had been successful in so many battles. So that great king, please get up and show your grace to us. So even normal kings of this world also, they have been glorified so much just to wake them up, such a nice ritual will be performed. But here Krishna in Vrindavan is getting curses from his cowherd friends. Hey, lazy boy, hey, sleep body, hey, come on, pillow hugger, get up. What is this? Why are you not getting up? But still he loves it more than the praises of Brahmanas, or he loves it more than other Purusha prayers where the Brahmanas are chanting with so much austerity, with perfect pronunciation, grammar and vocabulary. But Krishna is not liking that, but he loves it, right? So what is that? When there is one verse in Suprabhatam, what is the first word? Uttishta, Uttishta, Govinda, Uttishta, Garudadvaja. उत्तिष्ठ कमलाकान्ता वैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु. Get up, get up, get up. Why? If you get up, by your glance, everything will become Mangala. So here, how these prayers are chanted for Krishna. Okay, get up, my Lord. Everything will be Mangal. But here the boys are saying, get up, lazy boy, let's go. We have to go for grazing the cows. So that is the love of Vrajavasis. So all these Vrajavasis, all these cowherd boys, they're calling out, come on, Krishna, get up. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. We'll go to the next verse. जलाशये कालियमर्दनाय यदा कदम्बादपतन्मुरारे गोपाङ्गनश्चाकृशुरे त्यगोपा गोविन्ददामोदर माधवेति. Now Bilvamangal Thakur is taking us to a very beautiful pastime. So what has happened? Krishna has been playing on the bank of Yamuna, and now Krishna decides to get up to climb on the Kadamba tree and jump inside Yamuna because he knows about this Kaliya snake. So there is this popular pastime where they say that actually Krishna was playing with some ball and the ball goes in the water, and for the children cartoon you see. And then Krishna said, okay, I have to go now and get the ball. So now this pastime, Bilvamangal Thakur, when he is explaining, he said that when Krishna actually got up on the Kadamba tree branch and when he was just about to jump, all the cowherd boys, they got very much worried because they were afraid, or they were worried for Krishna's protection. So they were very anxious. They loved Krishna so much, and they were worried that if he jumps inside this Kaliya Daha and this water is full of poison and something may happen to Krishna. So they were crying out in pain, they were crying out in fear. They were saying, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Oh Govinda, oh Damodara, Madhava, please don't go, please don't go, please don't jump. They're shouting, but Krishna does not listen. And finally what Krishna does? He jumps in Yamuna, and then finally what he does? He subdues Kaliya, and then he makes the Yamuna water pure for usage so that the Vrajavasis can use the water, and he drives Kaliya away from Vrindavan. We'll go to the next verse. Akruramasadhya yada Mukundas Chapo Savartham Mathuram Pravishta Tada Sapaure Jayati Tabhya Abhasi Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Now, Bilvamangal Thakur is taking us back to Mathura, saying what happened in Mathura when Lord Mukunda, when he went to Mathura, he met with Akrura, and then they went into that place where all this ceremony was happening, where Kamsa had organized this fire sacrifice. He had arranged for this wild elephant to attack Krishna. So during this time, what is happening? This breaking the bow ceremony which Kamsa had grandly organized, when Krishna entered in the arena, it was like a big stadium, like an amphitheater, and all are sitting around. So as soon as Krishna entered that arena, all the spectators, all the viewers, all of them who were sitting there, they all started chanting, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So it's not that Krishna was only famous in Vrindavan. As soon as he entered Mathura also, he conquered everybody's heart just by looking at the sweet and beautiful face of Krishna. All of them were so happy and they were so concerned when they saw Mushtika, Chanura and all these big wrestlers. They were worried, this little boy, can he manage with them? Oh, they may kill him. So they are just screaming out his name, crying out, Govinda, Damodar, Madhava, please take care of yourself. What's going to happen, they are not sure. Go to the next verse. Kamsasya dhutena yadevanito vrindavanantad vasudeva sukno ruroda gopi bhavana syamadhye Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गोविन्द दामोदर madhaveti. So now what happened? Krishna and Balaram are taken away by Akrura to Mathura, but Yashoda Mata is missing them so much. So sometimes she even forgets that Krishna and Balaram are not there. So some evening she will suddenly start opening all the doors of the room and, hey Govinda, where are you? Damodar, where are you? Hey Madhava, where are you? So she's opening all the doors of her house. Then suddenly she realized, oh, I'm calling out for Krishna, but Krishna is not here. He's already gone to Mathura. And when she realizes that, again she sits down and she starts crying, and then she's just calling out him. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So Yashoda Mata sometimes she's so much immersed, she forgets that Krishna is not there also, right? Like there is this pastime when Uddhava comes to give message to Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj about Krishna, that he's okay in Mathura, don't worry so much. So when actually Uddhava comes, he asks for the address. Okay, where is Yashoda Mata's house? So these Gopa Balakas, they said, you don't need address. You are seeing the stream of water that is coming along. Don't think it is some stream from a pond or from some drain, maybe some leakage in some drainage system. No. Actually, they are the streams of tears which are coming from Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata's eyes. So those streams, if you simply follow the stream, if you come to the end, the source of the stream, that is the house of Maharaj, Nanda and Yashoda, because whole day they are crying. So Uddhav is very eager. Okay, yes, I'm going. No, wait Uddhav, we want to tell you something. What is that? Actually, Mother Yashoda has become very old, so she can't hear what people are saying. So usually whenever we speak to her, we have to speak at a louder pitch. So when you go and speak to her, speak a little louder. Then Uddhava says, okay, fine. So finally when Uddhava reaches Nanda Maharaj's house and Yashoda Maharani's place, then after speaking to Nanda Maharaj for some time, Nanda Maharaj calls out, hey Yashoda, come, see who has come. So as soon as Mother Yashoda comes out, Uddhav is very happy. So he's, like very animated way and, in a louder pitch, he says, oh, I have come from Mathura. So immediately Mother Yashoda says, shh, don't speak so loudly. Because just now I made Krishna sleep. If you speak so loudly, he'll get up. Now Uddhav is confused. Actually, I brought the message of Krishna and she's saying that just now she made Krishna sleep. When she says that, then Nanda Maharaj reminds Yashoda, hey Yashoda, Krishna is not here, he's in Mathura. Oh yes, he's in Mathura. She'll forget, she's all the time meditating on Krishna. I don't know if you have that experience, but sometimes if you dream about something a lot, then sometimes you will be confused whether this actually happened or was it in the dream. Did it happen in dream or did it happen really, right? So now what happens? Yashoda Mata is so much immersed in love for Krishna. She's so much immersed about thinking about Krishna. I'm making him eat, I'm making him sleep, I'm playing with him, I'm talking to him, I'm feeding him, that she forgets that actually Krishna is not here. So then Nanda Maharaj has to remind her, he's not here, Yashoda. Oh yeah, he's not here. So here, this is what is happening. She forgot that Krishna is in Mathura. So she's going and opening every door and saying, where this boy went. Then suddenly somebody reminds, Maya, he's not here, he's in Mathura. Oh yeah. And then she starts crying and calling out Krishna's names. We'll go to the next verse. Sarovare kaliyana gabadham shishum yashoda tanayam nishamya chakrulutantya pati gopabala govinda damodhara madhaveti. So here what's happening? Bilvamangal Thakur is again taking us back to Kaliya Leela. When Krishna was dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, or rather, when Krishna had jumped inside the Kaliya Daha, the cowherd boys are not sure what's going to happen with Krishna. Like, did he die? Or did he get swallowed by the Kaliya snake? So now they don't know what to do because they are little boys. So they ran out into the village of Vrindavan and they're calling out on the elders, please come, Krishna has jumped in the Kaliya Daha. So all the elders, some of them are at home, Some of them are maybe somewhere, some of them are farmers, some of them are milking their cows, some of them are in some other household work. But as soon as they come to know that Krishna is jumped inside the Kaliya Daha, so now they're all running, screaming and crying out Krishna's name. So now they're crying out, Govinda Damo Dhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damo Dhara Madhaveti. And what they're doing, as they're running towards the Kaliya Daha, Krishna is wrapped in the coils of Kaliya, and now they have to know, right, which route to take where. So they are following the footprints of Krishna, which are marked, everywhere in Vrindavan. They can see the footprints of Krishna because they are very unique. Because Krishna's footprints has certain symbols, symbol of barley corn, symbol of Vajra, symbol of Shankha, symbol of Chakra, symbol of Ankusha, Urdhva Pundra. So all that are marks of Krishna's footprints. So they're just following the footprints where Krishna has gone, because it was not one or two. So many forests. There are many forests. Like we just know maybe 12 important forests, Talavan or Bahulavan or Bhandiravan or Khadirvan, Kamyavan, Lohavan. But apart from this 12 important forests, there's so many vanas, upavanas, and maybe hundreds of vanas, and Krishna every day goes to some different vana. So they don't know where he is unless and until they follow his footprints. They can't understand where he has gone. So they're simply following that footprints and they're able to see. And when they're seeing those footprints, they're crying all the more. What are they crying? Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. They are crying out. We'll go to the next verse. Akrurayane yaduvamshanatham samgacchamanam mathuram niriksha uchu viyoga kilago pabala Govinda Damodhara Madhave, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So what happened? When Akrura was taking Krishna to Mathura, at that time only the gopis were crying. The Gopabalakas were not crying because they were thinking, we are anyway going to go with Krishna. And anyway Krishna said he will be coming back within few days. So what is there to cry? They're all excited. We are going with Krishna. We'll see a new city and we'll have lots of fun. And maybe we'll kill demons there also. So they are fully excited. But then suddenly one doubt comes in their mind. Krishna is a cheater. He cheats. Will he cheat us? Will he not come back to Vrindavan? Maybe he'll just stay back in Mathura. So now they are just thinking that, are we just fooling ourselves? Maybe he will never come back. So thinking that, now the Gopapalakas also started crying and they are also singing. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. We'll go to the next verse. Chakranda Gopi Nalini Vanante Krishne Nahina Kusume Shayana Prafula Nilo Palalo Chanabhyam Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So here what happens, one of the gopi in one of the forest of Vrindavan, she has made a flower bed for Krishna and Radharani to enjoy. So after the making of the flower bed and everything, she's very happy. But then she suddenly remembered, I made this flower bed, but Krishna is not here. He's gone to Mathura. Now she starts crying, oh, Krishna is not here. With so much enthusiasm, I made all this, but Krishna is not here. So cryingly, she's crying out the names of Krishna. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Dhara Madhaveti. See, you may think, how is that possible? Everybody knows Krishna has gone to Mathura. So I'll tell you sometimes what happens. If in your house there is some guest have come, okay? So now every day in your house you're cooking for 4 people. If the guests have come, now you'll be cooking for 8 people. Now every day it becomes a habit for you to cook for 8 people. Now one day, after 4, 5, 10 days of staying, when they go back, that evening by mistake when you are putting rice in the cooker, you will take the quantity for 8 people, because every day you are used to 8 people means how many cups, 4 cups or 2 cups or whatever. So even if they are gone, still unconsciously also you will put, right? Then you will remember, arey, valleru kada, they are not there, why I put so much rice, right? So normal people we are, and they are also not some great normal people they are. Still in 10 days we'll get attached, we got habituated eating together, and we'll be missing them. Oh, they are not here today, otherwise we used to talk and eat. Now imagine if somebody has been living or being with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his little form of a young boy, 11-year-old, how much attached they must have become to Krishna. And now they will not even remember that Krishna is not there. They are going about their daily routine. Oh yes, it's night. Now I have to make the flower bed for Radha and Krishna. And suddenly they realize, oh, Radharani is not here. Krishna is not here. So now they are crying for Radharani and Krishna. We'll go to the next verse. Mata pitrebhyam parivaryamana geham praveshtha vilalapa gopi Agatya mam palaya Vishwanatha Govinda damo dharamadhaveti Govinda damo dharamadhaveti Govinda damo dharamadhaveti. So now what happened? All these gopis, they are restricted by their father and mother. They can't go and meet Krishna whenever they want to. So now they are lamenting. What happens sometimes when Krishna calls out for the gopis, they don't bother about anybody at that time. They just run and they want to meet Krishna desperately. But after meeting Krishna, after when the Rasalila is over, when they have to come back home, at that time they get very much worried, because they have left without informing, right? So Krishna had this special way. He used to call the gopis by playing his flute, right? So we know that how Krishna's flute also had different tunes. One particular tune, if Krishna used to play his flute, then Brahma used to forget how to create. Even Lord Shiva used to forget how to dance. He will miss out on a step. Even the greatest Gandharvas, they will forget how to play the music. So beautiful Krishna's flute will be. Sometimes Krishna will play different kind of a tune wherein even the cows, they're munching, right? They're eating, they're chewing their food. They will stop chewing and they will become like a portrait. They'll just become freezed. They cannot chew anymore because they're just hearing Krishna's flute. There is one particular tune when Krishna plays, Yamuna forgets her course. Instead of flowing like this, she will flow in opposite direction. Sometimes the flute of Krishna is so melodious that even the moon, it forgets that I have to set and now the sun has to rise. So the moon will stay there only. So it will not allow the sun to rise. So different tunes have different kind of effects, and different caller tunes like we have in our cell phone. There are different tunes for different people. If he wants to call out for the Gopa Balakas, he will call them in different way. If he wants to call out Gopis, different tune. If he wants to call on Radharani, it's a different tune. So now what Krishna does, sometimes in the middle of the night or somewhere in the forest, he will play his flute and the Gopis know very well this is our tune. Krishna is calling us. So at that time, maybe they are cooking, maybe they are taking care of their children, maybe they are doing something, some household work, maybe they are giving some prasadam to their husband. But as soon as that tune plays, they get crazy. Krishna is calling, Krishna is calling. So at that time, they don't know. Sometimes they will just wear the sari in the wrong way. Sometimes they will put some lipstick here, and they will put some kajal here. They don't know what they are doing. They get crazy. And then sometimes they will put some salt in the kheer. They'll put some sugar in the curry. They do all sorts of things. And sometimes, even without telling anybody, they will just go. They don't care. They want to be with Krishna. So while going, they go. But while coming back, now they come to their senses. The flute sound is over. So now when they're coming back, as they're supposed to enter the house, now they're worried, they're afraid, they are fearful. What will my mother say? What will my father say? They'll ask, where were you? What should I answer? So now they're taking shelter of Krishna. Krishna, only you can protect. So they are inside their mind, they are chanting Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Oh Govinda, oh Damodhara, oh Madhava, only you can protect us. Now we don't know what to say. So they are calling out to Krishna. Go to the next verse. Vrindavanastam harimashu budhva gopigata kapivanam nishayam tatrapi adrishtavati bhayadavocha govinda damodhara madhaveti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So here what happened one day, one particular gopi in the middle of the night, she just remembered Krishna and she just ran inside the forest. Okay, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Then after coming to the forest, she said, what am I doing? Krishna is not here. Krishna is in Mathura and I am searching for Krishna here. Now she's crying and calling out Krishna's name. Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Where are you? I forgot that you are in Mathura. You are no more in Vrindavan. So she's crying out for Krishna. Go to the next verse. Sukham Shayana Nilaye Nijepi Namani Vishnu Pravadanti Madhyaha Tenischitam Tanmayatam Vrajanti Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So now Bilvamangal Thakur is saying, even if you can't do anything in your life, if you can't actively participate in Krishna conscious activities, at least you, even if you want to sit in your house, you don't want to go anywhere, leaving my house, I want to be in my house. At least sitting in your house, you do one thing, dear devotees, just do one thing. Chant Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. If you do that, what will happen? Just by chanting, you can get moksha. Simply, if you're not doing anything, but you're simply chanting, you'll get moksha. So, dear devotees, even if you don't want to come out of your house, you want to be there in your house, but at least chant Lord's names, right? So beautifully, he's talking about the importance of chanting Krishna's name. We'll do 2 more verses and then we'll close it here for today. And then we'll continue some other day. Sanirajakshimavalokyya radham ruruda govinda viyoga khinnam sakhi prafulotpalalo chanabhyam govinda damodhara madhaveti. What is happening here? Radharani is crying for Krishna in separation. So her lotus eyes, so beautiful eyes, they are filled with tears. And what is she doing while she's crying? She's chanting Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. Go to the next verse. Jivvera jashne madhura priyatvam satyam hitam tvam paramam vadami avarnayeta madhuraksharani govinda damodhara madhaveti. Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti. So what is happening? Here Bilvamangal Thakur is talking to his tongue. So he is taking, my dear tongue, you like different taste, is it not? Sometimes you want sour, sometimes you want sweet, sometimes you want pungent. But all these tastes are not beneficial for you. What is beneficial is, if you, instead of having those tastes and all, why not you taste the sweet name of Krishna and you chant Govinda Damodhara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. So this is most beneficial for you, my dear tongue. Please chant the names of Krishna. So now we'll close this class here and we will follow the advice of Bilvamangal Thakur. He's asking us to do what with our tongue? Chant the names of Krishna. So now we'll chant the names of Krishna continuously today and tomorrow. So all the devotees who are present here, if you have some seva outside in the pandal and in and around the temple, wonderful. If there is no service, the best service, then you can sit here and chant Krishna's name. Chant Hare Krishna in your mala or sing kirtan. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, participate in the kirtan, sit in the temple. Even if you are not able to chant, then simply look at Damodar and hear the Hare Krishna kirtan which the devotees are doing. But somehow engage your mind in Krishna's Rupa, Krishna's name. Either hear Krishna Katha or look at Krishna's Rupa or take Krishna's Prasad or hear Krishna Katha or associate with Krishna's devotees and be happy. So very happy Janmashtami tomorrow, and all of you should be here in the morning for Mangalarati by 4:30. It's Krishna's birthday tomorrow. So the first darshan will be at 4:30. So we wish Krishna, as soon as he gets up in the morning and he opens his eyes, we should stand right in front of him and take his blessings, right? So all of you should be here in the morning. Those who are newcomers also have not come before. We have a very, very special darshan in the morning. It's not only tomorrow, it's every single day, morning 4:30. You can come and have darshan of the Lord and take his blessings. So tomorrow morning, everybody be here. There will be a whole day program of butter pot breaking and cultural programs, abhishekam, kirtan, dance, so many wonderful activities, Julan Seva, and lots of kirtan, but no prasadam. We have to fast. Everybody should fast. If you can fast, it is wonderful. Says in the Brahma Vaivarta Puran that if somebody fasts on the day of Janmashtami, then you get the result of doing 20 crore Ekadashis. Actually, even if we do every single Ekadashi while we are alive, still we can't do 20 crore Ekadashi. But if you just fast on the day of Janmashtami, you can do 20 crore Ekadashi. But then don't do that kind of fasting where you will fast to get the result of 20 crore Ekadashi. But if anybody tells any seva, I am fasting, I am tired, I cannot do anything, no use of that 20 crore Ekadashi phalam. Because more than 20 crore Ekadashi phalam, if Guru tells some seva and we do it, then that is 100 crore Ekadashi phalam. So that's more superior. So seva is more superior than any kind of phalam. When somebody tells us, a Vaishnava tells us a seva and we do it, that pleases Guru and Krishna directly, right? So you can fast. And if not, if those who can fast should fast. If not, it's okay. Depends upon your health. And if you can fast, it's very good. It's an austerity of tongue, and then focus on Krishna name and chanting. After fasting, if the focus is on belly and taking rest somewhere in the guest room, then no use, right? Thank you so much. I'll end it here. Bilvamangal Thakur ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We completed verse number 40. There are 20 more verses, or rather 30 more verses. We'll do it on coming Sunday. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.